I want to talk a little bit, to go back a little bit on the laws of the Omer, okay? And then we're going to talk a little bit about Yar. So we started to count the Omer from Pesach. We have many people make a connection with, always when I ask, why do we count the Omer? Because the students of Rabbi Akiva passed away. Well, that's not correct. We count the Omer because Hashem told us to count the Omer, to count 7 weeks from Pesach to Shavuot. Shavuot, it's actually the only holiday that doesn't have a date. Okay, all the other holidays, they have a date. The Pesach doesn't, Shavuot doesn't have a date. Shavuot, it's always 50 days after Pesach. Okay, so we count 49 days. In the 50 days, we have Shavuot. This is how we know when Shavuot is. Yeah, 7 complete weeks. Now, why do we do that? Why do we count the Omer? First of all, everything started when Am Yisrael left Egypt. And we know that in Egypt, Am Yisrael get to the 49 levels of impurity. Yes. And if they would have been in the 50 level of impurity, there was no option for them to come out of Egypt, right? And Hashem took them out by force in that moment, because this was SOS, yeah, from Israel, yeah. So after they came out of Egypt, they received the Torah exactly 7 weeks after, which was like a huge miracle, because imagine people that all the time sort of like made there were so many things that they see and they did, and many Jews didn't even wanted to go out. They were so assimilated there, they didn't want to go out. It's like you ask today many people around, like, do you want Mashiach now? Yeah. A lot of people that I know will tell me, yeah, but just wait a little bit. I still have to do this and this and this and this. Like, not right in this moment. Yeah, it's still, you have to understand that Mashiach is good. It's good for everything. It's good for Am Yisrael. It's good for you. It's good for the family. It's good for the world. It's good for everything. Yes, but we sometimes we are so into the material in this world that is very hard to even to think of a different reality. Yes, so many Jewish, 80% of the Jewish people didn't come out of Egypt. Only 20% did. Yeah, so they were in a very low spiritual point, and Hashem made a huge he made a huge miracle to them, that every single day that passed, like one level of impurity, one day passes, that's it. They completely managed to correct it. Okay. Now there is I have a book home actually that counts the Omer sort of like this, like every day it's able to correct a specific trait that we have inside. Okay, I also have a birthday usually in the Omer, so I always look at which day it passed, what I need to correct this year. Yeah, if it's like what exactly, and it's so amazing that exactly the things that you struggle more, because sometimes you have a year that you struggle with this, and then you struggle with something else, because we always grow. We don't always think, we don't always understand that we are growing. It's like a person that is trying to lose weight. Yeah, not always the people around you are going to see that. Yes, but who's going to see? Someone that didn't saw you for a long time, they're going to go, wow, Tamar, you lost a lot of weight, by the way. No, I didn't. So that's one of the things. Yes. So anyway, it's very interesting to see each day what you have like to work upon. It's very good, especially in this time. This is also a time that gives us the possibilities, like Hashem says in it. This is a present for me, take it. Yeah, you have 7 weeks that you can actually work on yourself, and I'm going to help you get there, if you only have the power to do it. Yeah, not always we have the power to open that book. Yeah, that's also another struggle. So we have these 50 days that we are trying to, go deeper inside our souls. And it's not only about, anger and things like that. There are many things that we still have to correct and go over. So during the days of the Omer, tradition has it that a great tragedy befell our people. We are told that no less than 24,000 disciples of Rabbi Akiva perished between Pesach and the festival of Shavuot. In consequence, the custom is to observe some aspects of mourning during this period. During that part of the Omer, which is treated as a period of mourning, marriages may not be solemnized, and one should not shave or have a haircut. And I'm talking about men right now. Yeah, women can have a haircut, and it's fine to shave. And like, imagine a woman not gonna do this for 3 weeks. It's crazy. By the way, there are some customs, yes, and women that took upon themselves not to do this, but halachically it's okay. So just in case you find someone that is going to tell you, oh, you're not allowed to take a haircut. I know that Ashkenazi women usually are a bit more stricter with this, like they really don't take a haircut in this time, but halachically is really not a problem even for Ashkenazi women. So it should be noted that there are when this mourning period is finishing, yeah, some people are keeping it till HaOmer, some are keeping it till Shavuot, by the way. So I'm a singer, so sometimes before Shavuot I'm singing, and I'm going to places and they were like, oh, we didn't know you need to sing now with why? It's already after HaOmer. I don't understand. I keep the same halacha, yeah, like everybody else, but there are a few customs, and some people keep more and some people keep less. The Shulchan Aruch says, and that's what most of the people are keeping, yeah, the Shulchan Aruch, it's up until HaOmer. Yeah, the Sephardi keep 1 day more. Actually, if you go into Shulchan Aruch and you start to read the Shulchan Aruch, you see that Shulchan Aruch doesn't give the permission to listen to music at all in any time. Why? Because we don't have a temple. We don't have a temple, we cannot be happy. Yes, but the rabbis of this generation understand the desire of a person we cannot live without it. Yes, it's impossible. So then they let people listen to music during the year, but in this time, not even those. There are some rabbis that are saying that if you specifically, yes, that's why I said always that we need to have a rabbi to ask questions, and each person is different. Then, like, if I ask a rabbi a question and you ask a rabbi a question, it's very, very possible that we're going to get 2 different answers, even though the question is going to be the same. Why? Because we are 2 different people. We have 2 different ways of, with me, maybe he's going to be stricter or lenient. You understand what I'm saying? It's different. So sometimes people really struggle on I know people that cannot live without music, like they can't. So they cannot connect, they cannot pray, they cannot do nothing, and they're not gonna die in these 3 weeks. So in this case, the rabbi can give permission to someone to listen to music that is sad music, okay, like music that it's connecting with the soul and not disco and stuff like that. Yeah, so these cases that we have, the 4 different customs as to when this mourning period is to be observed. We have 8. The first, which is the law mentioned by our teacher Rabbi Yosef Karo, starts out from the tradition that the disciples of Rabbi Akiva were dying from the 2nd day of Pesach until the 34th day of the Omer. Okay, so usually the Sfaradim or people that are following the Shulchan Aruch, they go with this. They follow from the end of Pesach, because up until the second Yom Tov, even though we count the Omer, is still Chol HaMoed, and in Chol HaMoed you're allowed to listen to music, you're allowed to be happy, you're allowed to do all this stuff, right? So only when Pesach is finishing, then we start to count the Omer. Like, we start to count the Omer before, but we start the morning period, right? So Rabbi Yosef Karo, who is the Rabbi that wrote the Shulchan Aruch, yes, he is the one that says that the students of Rabbi Akiva started to die from the 2nd day of Pesach until 34th day of the Omer. In consequence, according to this custom, the period of mourning is for 33 days, and on the 34th day in the morning, one is allowed to shave. This is, in fact, the custom of many Sephardi communities. A second custom is that the mourning period is observed from the 2nd day of Pesach until the 33rd day of the Omer. Consequently, one is allowed to have a haircut on the 33rd day in the morning. The day is known as Lag LaOmer. So we keep 1 day more. Yes, I'm saying we because we are Sephardi in our home. So we keep 1 day after Lag BaOmer. Okay. So some people in the Lag BaOmer itself in the morning, they already shave. Yes, they already. After this day, the period of mourning ceases. This is the view of Rabbi Moshe Israel. So Ashkenazi, Rabbi Moshe Isserlis, who was the Rama. Okay, there is a difference between Sephardi Shulchan Aruch and Ashkenazi Shulchan Aruch. I actually have a whole class about it. How does it started and how it get to the point when we have a Gemara and Mishnah. If you want, you can go on our video site and you can see there all this lesson. It's very, very interesting.